Hi guys, welcome to Love Me Some Cooking with Vicki. Today it's Thanksgiving, so it's the night before Thanksgiving and it's time to get the turkey done and brined. What brining means is we're going to put in a salt water solution with some apple cider and some seasonings to it. And we're going to boil that, let that cool, put that into a cooler with our turkey, pour some ice over it and let it sit out in your garage even with some ice on it overnight. And then we're going to deal with that bad boy the next day. So it's, like I said, Thanksgiving, time to show our thanks. Time to have the uncle over that drinks a little too much and that bratty little nephew of yours, and go ahead and have a good time and give your family the bird. So let's go ahead and get this started. I've got a 11-pound turkey that we're going to deal with. I've rinsed and patted them dry. Now, this is what was inside the turkey. This is the turkey neck, and this is the giblets. That's the heart, the liver. We are going to use that in our stuffing later. If you don't want to, feel free to omit it and add some sausage if you want, or leave it out. I would say vegetarian, but come on, you're making a turkey. So we're going to set this over to the side and we're going to put this in a plastic bag for tomorrow. This is the night before Thanksgiving. I've got my bird right here. I've rinsed and patted him dry. We're going to go ahead and get this brine going. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 3 cups of apple cider. We're going to add 2 cups of brown sugar. 1, 2, 3/4 of a cup of kosher salt. It has to be kosher salt, guys. Do not use Morton table salt for a brine, okay? Kosher salt. This is going to permeate that meat and make it juicy. And when you end up cooking this and you pull out the meat thermometer the next day, this thing is so juicy, you cannot go wrong. With a meat thermometer and a brine, it will always be moist. So 3/4 a cup of kosher salt. We have 6 garlic cloves here that I've just smashed up. 3 tablespoons of whole peppercorns. So these are the kind that are not broken up yet, that are crushed down for pepper. So we're just going to add all that into here. Oh, it smells so good already. Now I'm going to add the oranges and the bay leaves after we boil this down. So let's go ahead and mix this up. Get it over the stove and we want it to melt and just to marry each other here, okay? And then we're going to cool it down with some ice and then pour it over our bird. I'll see you guys over here. Alright guys, we've got that to a good boil. Now what we're going to add to this is just some ice. I'm going to cool it down. And we're going to add a bunch of water to this. This is just the concentrated part. I use every bit of this turkey in order to make a great turkey and dressing. Actually, I call it druffing, which I'll get to later. But so you've got to check both holes when you get this. When you defrost it, you want to make sure that you're looking in this hole and in that hole. And you can either defrost this turkey if you buy a frozen one. Fresh is better, but if you buy a frozen one, put it in your refrigerator for 3 days on a cookie sheet lined with paper towels, or put it into some cold water and flip it every hour and drain the cold water every hour. Put it back in there and keep flipping it. It'll take about 3 to 4 hours to defrost. So we're all ready here. Now we've got this brine cool. Ice is melting. And to that we are going to add 1 whole orange that I've just sliced up for extra flavor. And about 6 bay leaves. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this over here. I'm going to use a big old igloo cooler, okay? I have the cooler and I have a brining bag. And we're going to put the turkey in here, pour a brine liquid over it, stick it in here, and add ice on it. And then we're just going to put it out in the garage all night long because here it's under 32 degrees at where I live. So it'll be able to sit overnight as long as it's iced. So let's go ahead and put this turkey in here. Lift this up. Stick them right down in there. Now, I'm going to add our brine liquid. And we're just going to top it off with ice and water. And I am going to rinse down these handles with some antibacterial spray because I've been touching the poultry and that, and all my kitchen stuff here. You just want to make sure he's fully submerged in your water. Then after we seal up the bag, we'll add ice. Okay, we're just sealing the bag up. And I'm telling you, you cannot, if you follow my cooking method, A, you're not going to burn your turkey and it's not going to be dry, and B, it is going to be so juicy. Everybody likes a juicy bird. Alright, check it a couple times, man. You don't want this nasty funk all over your cooler or your garage. Okay, so we're good. There we go. Now I'm just going to add the ice. And we're ready to rock. So we're going to leave this outside of my garage for about anywhere between 12 to 24 hours. Overnight is better, even if it ends up being 12, 16. But as long as you can, but no more than 24. We're going to have a great Thanksgiving. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Alright guys, I've got my turkey in the brine. It's been sitting overnight for about 16 hours. My husband had to pull it out of the cooler. I'm not going to lie to you because it's pretty heavy. But I'm going to open it up and I'm going to rinse it once under cold running water and then kind of shake it and then rinse it again. So you want to make sure that you're rubbing the skin here and getting off all the salt. Never shake your baby, but you can shake your turkey. Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to just dry her off. Okay, so in this bowl I have a stick of butter that I've softened, and I added to it some chopped rosemary and some chopped sage, all fresh. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this with a fork. This is what they call compound butter. This is going to go up underneath the turkey skin on the meat. We've got our oven preheated to 350 degrees. Alright. I'm going to take a little bit of this in the palm of my hand and go up in here and try not to break the skin. And this will make really moist turkey meat. And I'm going to leave the cavity open. I'm not going to put anything in there, and I'll explain that in just a second. Alright. Now, I'm going to take, I already did this other leg. I'm going to take this turkey wing, and I'm just going to bend it and stick it right underneath his body. That way he's perfect, and they already came tied. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and just pour it on the turkey and rub it in. Make sure you get his legs. It's like suntan lotion. And make sure you grease your roasting pan. Alright, now I'm going to put some garlic, salt, and pepper all over him. And make sure that you get some in the cavity of the bird too. Alright. Now I'm going to add some chicken stock. And I'll end up using this whole container, so that's why I'm touching it with my hands and not washing them, because I'm going to keep it and end up throwing it away. Actually, I'm just going to put the whole bad boy in there this time, because that'll give us something to baste with during the cooking process. Alright guys, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my trusty little kitchen timer here. I'm going to put the alert on. And I'm going to set this to go off at 180 degrees. This little kitchen timer, I'm going to leave it in. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to put it in the breast meat. And this will go off at 180 degrees. Do not worry about thinking that you've overcooked it. I don't like trying to test the thermometer in between the joint space of the thigh, because I've always had, it ends up, whether it's a roast chicken or a turkey, a bloody carcass when you get towards the bone. So I don't feel like messing with that. I know 180 in the boobie is going to be just what we need. So I'm going to put it there, set it and forget it, walk away. And then about the last 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to baste this turkey with a little bit of apricot preserves and some balsamic vinegar. I've just whisked that up together. I'd say this is about maybe a quarter or half a cup, and probably 4 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And that is such a tangy marinade that we're going to put on the top part of this last hour of cooking. And it gives it that pretty Norman Rockwell beautiful brown color. So it's beautiful. So let's go ahead and set this to 180. And it won't be dry because we brined it. You can't have a dry turkey if you brine it. These are things our grandmas did not do. So, let's see. In the boobie it goes. And let's go ahead and put this in the oven. Alright guys, this is a giblet stuffing that we're going to be working with. Actually, it's called a druffing. Let me explain that. The reason I left the inside of the turkey open and I didn't stuff it with any aromatics or anything is because me and my girlfriend that's down in Arkansas that I adore dearly, hi Laura, we always have a little heated discussion regarding what is the difference between dressing and stuffing. So I came up with druffing. And druffing is we're going to make the pan of stuffing separate, or dressing separate in a pan, and then after we pull it out, then we're going to cram it up that bird's behind. And that way the presentation's beautiful, and now the dressings become stuffing. So you can either make it stressing, but who wants to hear that word at the holidays, or druffing. So I'm going to go with druffing. So we're going to add our gizzards to this pot, and we're going to go ahead and boil it. This is disgusting. I'm not going to lie to you. Here's the neck. But this is the way your grandma did it, and if y'all think you didn't eat stuffing that was made this way, well, Granny was lying to you. Because this is the best way to do it. And the liver. And the heart and the kidneys. And all of that's in there. So, I'm just going to put a top on. We're going to boil that for, probably about an hour till, because this turkey's going to take about 3 hours. About an hour till this is done, and then we're going to cut it up and add it to our stuffing in lieu of sausage. So I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Okay guys, now we're going to work on our druffing. So I went ahead and I've boiled the giblets, which is the neck and the liver, and this is the gizzard. Okay, I'm not going to use this. It's just a little too tough. But I know this is a little gross, but look at it like this. Hey, the turkey didn't die in vain, right? So what I did was I cubed my bread that I used. This is what I used. The King's Hawaiian rolls, and they look like this, and I just cut them down this way, and then I just cut them into little bite-sized pieces. The reason I did it early is because I wanted them to kind of dry out. So they're a little bit more, like stale bread. And that's really good to use too, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and take this meat, toss it in here. Alright. I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of chopped sage. To that, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Probably about a tablespoon's worth. A little bit of cracked garlic pepper. And let me move this out of the way because this is a little nasty to look at. And I went ahead and I sauteed up some celery, garlic, and onion. This is like the holy grail of cooking, kind of Cajun style really, but they do that a lot down south. I'm going to add that to this, and what that was a large Vidalia onion and 4 celery stalks, that I cut up and about 6 garlic cloves, and I sauteed it in just a little bit of butter. Now I took 2 eggs, and this is why you can't really put this in the bird to cook. You can, but you have to get this to be an internal temperature of 160 degrees, and it's just really a pain in the butt. So let's let it be at the pain in the turkey's butt this time. We're going to go ahead and cook this separately. After it's done, we're going to cram it up in that bird's rectum. Hell, damn near killed him type deal. Okay, so I'm going to add this to it. I'm going to get a spoon. Hi, Barney. Mix this up. And now I'm going to add some cranberries. Just ocean spray, regular old cranberries. And I add the whole package. And I'm going to take a little bit of my liquid that I cooked the gizzards in, and I'm going to put this in here. We'll see how much of it we need. If we need to add extra, we can also add chicken broth. But this truly is your grandmother's recipe, I'll promise you. So you cooks at home that are thinking, ugh, she's going to put the organs in there, that's disgusting. But yet, if you can't make grandma's stuffing, this is why. That's what she put in it. And if you don't like to put the giblets or gizzards in there, then feel free to go ahead and add sausage or something, but I'm going to promise you it ain't going to taste like Granny's. So, when they always say to add liquid to it, to saturate it, just look at it. You can tell some pieces aren't moist. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more liquid. Oh, this looks fantastic. Now instead of cooking spray, I went ahead and I buttered my dish that I'm going to put this in. And it's going to cook for about an hour. We need to get that done. That egg has to be cooked. So, let's go ahead and put it in the oven with the bird. You guys want to come around here and see how pretty this turkey is? Come on. Oh, isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to take some of the liquid. You want to baster. Because we got that chicken stock down here that's now making its own turkey stock, by the way. And we're just going to baste it so it doesn't dry out, which it won't anyhow, but you don't want that skin to be bad. And you want it to have a pretty color. Alright guys, it's time to baste our bird. So I've got my apricot preserves and my balsamic vinegar. Look how pretty he is. And this is going to give it a tangy, tangy taste. It's almost done. The one timer's already popped out, so we're getting very, very close. But I wouldn't judge it by that timer that comes in the bird. Alright, we'll baste it about 2 more times and then we'll get her out and let him sit there for probably about 20 minutes or 30 minutes before we cut into him. Alright guys, we're stuffing our bird with our druffing. Look at how pretty that looks. If that doesn't look like a Norman Rockwell picture, I don't know what does. Is that not beautiful? So guys, it's Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Please follow me on YouTube, and like I said, tell your family, give them the bird, tell them Vicki told you to do it. But single dads, college kids, anybody, I'm telling you guys, you can make a Thanksgiving dinner. Now you can because there's no excuse. Have happy holidays, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.